Sunfish Funfish Match Race, August 29th, 2020. I am Billy Bob Clambake.
And I am Felipe Ranscotti.
How you doing, Felipe? But
It's a little under the weather here.
that's okay. Hey, today is a best of 7.
Wow, that's a lot of races.
There's a lot of races. And at some point, our favorite Captain Ferry shows up.
Classic.
So I'm really excited about this. And we got ourselves about 55 seconds to go. We've just kind of forgone the whole sounds of the thing. We're just going past that.
We're moving along.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like making your own sound, feel free. Everyone at home, feel free to make your own sound. All right, so we got about 40 seconds left before the start of race 1, Felipe. Obviously, the score is 0-0.
That would be the score at the beginning, yes.
The line is 180. The wind's about 190, 200, so the right side is favored. I know you knew that, Felipe.
I certainly did.
You are the consummate professional.
That's me.
All right, let's see what happens. 17 seconds to go here. Looks like Brad's going to try to do a little something different this time. I think he's actually going to try and have a little bit of momentum at the start. He had a little bit of extra space to get inside the right side of the line here. And we are off and running.
What a gorgeous looking day.
It is a nice day, Philippe's, and off we go. Again, yellow numbers are Brad. Green numbers are Karen. Blue track above is Brad. Green track is Karen. Right off the bat, Karen is pulling her front, pitching Brad off a little bit, giving him some dirty air. You can see Brad falling into her.
Dirty air, man.
It's almost as bad as a wind hole.
I don't know about that.
All right, so Brad goes over to port to get out of there. By the way, did you notice something about Brad's boat?
Yeah, it looks a little different.
It is a little different. Brad is trying out a different boat today. He hasn't had a name for this boat. If you feel like having any ideas for what you might call that boat, throw them out there.
Bodie McBoatface.
Nice. Anything with the yellow you think might be? Looks like it has some yellow to it.
Yellow snow.
There's a little Zappa action. As long as you don't eat that, you're all right. Okay, as we go off here on port, again, the lower number is favored. It's a little windy, it's a little choppy, and I think also Brad is trying out this new boat, so he's probably, having a little harder time than he does at this other boat in terms of just getting used to it. But, he seems to be staring all over the place a little bit, Felipe.
You think it's a little, like it's not broken in or something?
Well, it's not brand new in that sense, but I think the rudder's different than the rudders that he's used to. But it's okay. He'll be fine. Look at this. There's a 20. Wind is shifted to the right, Felipe, a good bit.
Do you think that new mutter might put a rut in his performance?
It certainly could. But we'll have to see. So here comes Karen. They're both on starboard. Karen might have a little bit of a lead right now. But it's hard to tell. I'd say they're pretty even, Felipe.
Yeah, it looks like they're just having a nice day out there cruising.
They're both up in that 4, 5, sometimes 6. It's gusty. It's choppy. It's almost like a nice Caesar salad.
You gotta love those.
Now, when you have your Caesars, Felipe, with or without anchovies, brother?
I love anchovies.
Nice. Okay, is Brad on the ley line? Looks like he's close. Karen might be a little short of the ley line. She might have to do one last tack as they approach this ley line. You can see if you look real closely, Felipe, you can see the mark in the distance right in front of Brad's boat.
Yep.
So we're getting close. It looks like Brad's just on it, which would make Karen just short of it. She's going to have to tack a couple times. That'll make the race nice and even like.
Brad's got that Michael Jackson lean right now.
Hee hee. There goes Karen. And she's going to be tacking right back, and we're going to have ourselves a simultaneous rounding. Now, with the wind shifted right, Felipe, you know what that means. Jibe set.
Jibe set.
Jibe set.
Jibe set.
And they're both going to jibe set? I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens here. Really glide around that mark, and here we go, rounding that mark. Let's see. Karen's probably going to drive set. Brad's not thinking about it. No, he's going to drive set. They're both drive set at the same time. There goes Karen. Oh, no!
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, Karen's almost in the water. Brad's sail is.
Smacking her on the back.
Oh, wow. Your thoughts?
Dangerous. But thrilling at the same
Yeah, that's
time.
crazy. Now, after that, there's water on the camera, and let's see what happens here. I don't know.
Billy Bob.
What?
Billy Bob. It's just a video.
Oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't for us?
No, we're fine.
Oh, okay. That is so. Okay, well, they're even. We're just speeding this up a little bit for the sake of time. Look at how even this race is as they go downwind. What do you think? Thoughts, Felipe?
It almost seems as if they had just like a rope keeping them right next to each other.
Yeah, Brad pulled ahead a little bit there. Karen's back even. Now Karen's pulling ahead a little bit, Felipe.
It's weird watching the
and
water.
Then Brand's,
at
and then
3
here
times
comes
speed.
Karen's a little bit ahead. Wow. As they approach the finish line, it looks like Karen's going to win this race, Felipe. Not by much,
Yeah, it's gonna be close.
but a win nonetheless for Karen. Felipe, that makes a score 1-0 Karen in this best of 7.
That is 1-0 Karen.
In race 2, we saw a very close upwind leg that saw Brad duck Karen. The next time they came back together, Karen performed a really strong lee bow, forcing Brad to tack away into an area where the wind was just ended up not being quite as good. Karen got a nice solid lead that she turned into a pretty easy victory at the end. It is now 2-0 Karen. Now, it's time for race 3, Felipe. And also, we have the arrival of Catherine Ferry as promised.
The elusive third racer.
We are down to 40 seconds left. You can see Brad is kind of approaching the start line here already. He is looking for the right side. And here comes Karen and Catherine at the same time. What's going to happen here?
It's the battle of the K's.
It's almost like is this a Brad witch? What is this?
It looks like it.
All right, so the wind has shifted a little left. This is the first time the left side might be favored.
It's about time.
All right, here we go. 12 seconds left.
Does Brad get any wind in this scenario, or is he just fresh out of
It's
luck?
a struggle. Catherine is close to the sign. You'd think Karen's got the clearest of air. And off we go.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right. So, again, pretty even start here.
Did you ever think about them doing a race to the bridge and through one of by the cylinders to the other cylinder and coming back?
Yeah, the wind's a little bit squirrely underneath that bridge. Brad tacks.
Karen tax.
Yeah, they follow each other. Must have been a wind shift.
Wind shift.
So, again, different speeds. What's interesting about the course here, Felipe, is that you can get different wind channels or different speeds of winds in different parts of the course.
Sure.
Sometimes it's just that simple.
Hey, I'm a simple guy.
So Brad's setting off on port. He's checking his telltales.
He's looking up.
Yep.
Is Brad sponsored?
Not yet. But maybe if he names his boat right, he could get sponsored by like the Mellow Yellow people.
Are they still in business?
Well, that's about who all he probably could get a Spencer from is from a defunct. Hope
Maybe
he don't have
maybe he'll put him back in business.
maybe.
Because people want to sail like Brad, so they're gonna go out and buy the thing that makes Brad sail great, a refreshing mellow yellow.
That's right. Little fizz helps, propel the boat. So they're still heading out here on starboard. Brad's got some speed, but he's going a little low to get that speed. And Karen tacks it, she'll have to duck.
She's ducking. Look out.
Doc. Quack. Remember when you do that quack sound?
Yeah, but you do it so much better than me, Billy Bob.
Well, I have some practice, I guess. Brad is now tacked on to port. I'm sorry, yeah, port to cover, and there's Karen. So still, I'd say Brad has a little bit of a lead, but I don't know if the lead is, you know, Brad is probably off the wind a little bit right now. So I'm not sure that he didn't lose the ground. And here comes Karen. Karen's tacking. Now this could be.
It's
Let's
another
see
close
here.
one.
Ooh, the lee bow. Felipe, our first lee bow.
Yes.
So what happens there is Brad tacked right on her wind, and she had to tack away.
Smart.
Now, the left side of the course might have a little bit more wind if it did earlier today. What could happen here is you could see substantial wind speeds. Look, Brad might be heading towards some more wind.
That play right there might have to make our mellow yellow highlight reel.
Nice. Okay, look, is it me or does it look like Brad just took a huge lead with that play?
Yeah, it looks like he teleported ahead.
Yeah, and now he's tacking into the wind. He is approaching 4, 5, almost 5.8 knots, and Karen's mired in the low twos.
This new boat could be exactly what he needed.
It could be. Well, looks like that might have been the move of the third race. I'm not sure how Karen comes back from that.
Well, she has a couple options.
Is one of them just to forget the mark and see if anyone notices?
That's a good one. I'd say maybe the use of like a grappling hook.
Well, here comes Brad rounding the mark, uh, and we'll see how far Karen's behind. Let's see here. She's Brad's going downwind, and Karen is she's a ways back. Jumping ahead to the end, Brad's going to win race 3, and the score is now 2-1. Race 4, interesting start here. The wind has shifted a little bit more to the right, making it a far right favored end. Karen gets pushed a little bit outside the line, but Brad, with that right shift, is over early. He needs to circle back around here, and he's probably going to be a little bit late. But if you see, Karen is doing her circle way below the line, so Brad's going to end up getting the start a little bit better, a little bit closer to zero anyway. They had a course change here, and there's actually a leeward mark. And as he rounds the leeward mark, heads for home, which is an upwind finish across the finish line. Race 5, pretty even start here, and they head up to the top of the course. Through some good course management and good playing of the wind shifts, Karen runs the top mark in a good position. Brad's makes up a little bit of ground going downwind, closes the gap by a little bit, still several boat lengths behind as they round the bottom leeward gate. Karen tacks immediately. Brad hangs on a little bit to starboard or to port a little bit longer before he tacks on to starboard. And when they come back together, Brad has just made a little bit of that difference work out to where Karen now has to duck. Brad then covers immediately, so he's in a good covered position heading for the finish line. And finishes to win the pivotal 5th race. So now it is 3-2 in favor of Brad, who's won 3 in a row. So we now move to race 6. Karen gets a good start in race 6, a little bit more momentum, and starts off with a lead. Carries that lead around the top mark and immediately does a jibe set. Brad tries to do a little bit of a Hail Mary by going around the outside of the closed line. Ultimately doesn't work. Karen wins race 6, and we are now 3-3 for the pivotal race 7. In race 7, Brad is a little bit early to the line and has to circle around and start on port. He gets a gust of wind, however, right at the pivotal moment. Karen cannot cross. Brad rolls over and takes a slight lead. Still gets good wind and carries that into a sizable lead as they approach the top mark. But Carrot is still in striking distance as they were on the top mark. Initially, Karen also thinks about doing the Hail Mary, but ultimately falls behind and decides that it's better to round this mark. Does start to close the gap, though, as they head towards the leeward mark. It's getting real close at this point as they round the leeward mark. Brad is able to keep from or inside rounding from Karen, does a covering tack, and crosses the finish line to win the overall day, 4 races to 3. Exciting 7 races for Sunfish Funfish match race, August 29th, 2020. See you next time.